Things are really heating up with the Beyond the Map's Edge poem. Every single word is being picked apart, dissected, debated, and maybe even decoded. Is there breaking news? Or is the noise just noise? Some say new clues have surfaced. Others claim it's misdirection. Are online trolls trying to throw searchers off the trail to protect their own solve location? Or are these hunters genuinely trying to help? You'll have to discern for yourself. Because make no mistake, the race is on. Many already have a solve location, and they're acting like it's just a matter of time. But can we be trusted? Or is it all just confirmation bias in a treasure-colored lens? Now, with the snow beginning to melt and the trailheads opening up, the question looms, will the treasure finally be found? Some are betting big on Utah. Others swear it's New Mexico. And yes, Alaska keeps coming up again and again. Why? What's up there? And what did they see in the poem that the rest of us missed? Because the real question is, what are the clues in the poem? And which ones are pointing to gold, and which are leading you into the dust? Stick around. Stay sharp. And whatever you do, don't let someone else find it first. This is Discord drama.
Saddle up, it's time for Discord drama, where the threads are messy and the tea is hot. Get ready for the gossip, the chaos, and all the juicy details. This is Beyond the Map, and we're diving into the drama that's shaking up your sewer.
Thoughts on this being the clue Justin said could need technical knowledge? Wisdom waits in shadowed sight for those who read these words just right. Assume you are intended to read it as a standalone sentence, and cite for is a hyphenated word. Cite for sounds like cipher. What a more fitting line to apply a cipher to.
I agree that this points to the cipher. I haven't tried cite for, but I ran down some rabbit holes with just right and other elements, so why not? Here we go again.
Was re-watching the dock for clues. In the dock, the boxes in the garage are labelled Kitchen, Kitchen, Kit Clean, Detect. Kit Clean always looks like kitchen but doesn't sound anything like it. Went to the poem to see if there are any hyphens or words that read differently but look similar. Found 2. While at line breaks, I thought it would be worth investigating. Perhaps someone with some more literary knowledge can chip in.
If they are hyphens, cite for sounds an awful lot like cipher. I know just said that type of work wasn't needed to solve the poem, but he also said he couldn't help but add one thing that could arguably need some knowledge. Is that a hint towards that clue? No idea what what could mean if it is supposed to be interpreted as hyphenated.
Memories live in time.
I have a question. Anyone remember if he said you never have to hike more than a mile from your car? Do you believe he meant for the whole hunt? Or did he mean simply the final retrieval of the treasure?
He said, you don't need to. Presumably, you could hike more than that. I think if you know where to go in the end, it's possible you could just go there. Straight away and hike less than a mile.
No. He said it's around a mile hike. That's a good distance. I wouldn't call that near. He also said nothing about communicated towers/cables.
I'm a firm believer that the poem takes you through a few of Justin's most significant areas, and that it is only the final area in which you don't need to hike more than a mile.
I'm so confident I honestly just feel it may be easy enough. It will be a foot race. When snow melts, I wish I could avoid that part, and either way, longest month or so of my life, I have a very compelling solve. I showed ChatGPT the poem and my solve, and it says 92, 95%. Probably I hit the X spot, so I asked it, well, what about that 8%? If I'm off, can it be in another state? It said no. In that small window, if be of what it agrees, is the solve spot.
I mean, we know not to believe what we read, and AI can mess up adding darts. Scores, I'd really love a Zoom call or confirmation. It's really Justin, and I'd be happy to show him I'd also leave the Bitcoin wallet. For number 12.
If someone gets there first, I will share the solve before they do. I promise that, 'cause then who cares? But I think at that altitude it's under a lot of snow now, but I honestly don't know the amount on ground TBH. I haven't looked into that. I read end of April or May for the area for where I think end of April or early May.
Snow shovel, my guy. I'm sure you can afford one with a chest of gold.
There is a million reasons it's not in a national park.
Oh yeah, I could have just said, will, unless there are free NP, but no.
Be interesting to see this 100% behind desk solve when he said it requires vodka.
Just my opinion. I think astrology is nonsense, and I don't picture Justin as an astrology type of guy.
Me neither. But I definitely picture him using the constellations of the zodiac in the puzzle.
We can debate this high is using an ancient spiritual poem that talk about time, water, physics, sacred places. All of this comes from the Aztecs' historical touch in American lands, Western Spanish gold, history's ECT. All of this, plus navigation clues by the position on the Earth globe showing Americas and a meteor in the treasure, might tell me something different, and the proof is in the poem? Watch closely.
Think I'll focus more on the bit about not in clever minds or tangled twisted finds?
You are completely counting out astronomy, though, and a very historical way of navigating.
Lewis, Clark, and Sacagawea have been referred to as Foot of Three.
I feel like Ivy got a great location figured out. Found where hope surges and you round the bend past the hole. Exactly after you round the bend past the hole, Ursa Major's location is the path of a trail. Then, on this trail, there's 2 arches. I'm confused where the 3-footed bride comes into play.
Have a theory about the line, her foot of 3 at 20 degree, that I haven't heard anyone mention yet, but my struggle is getting it to fit with the any of the rest of it, haha.
I feel like it might be a clock, 3 feet on a clock. Pointed at 20 degrees and it's that way. Ursa Major's bride was turned into a bear. And looking for a clock that is a bear, possibly,
Not sure if this point has already been discussed, but with Ursa not being capitalized in the poem, do we think that it is still referring to Ursa Major? I think it is bear-related, but not the constellation.
At this location, Ursa Major is northeast. Says Ursa East. Not sure.
I think West Montana, which is the most saturated there area, and then east of there. Or a bear landmark. Still working on his bride, though.
Justin is an engineer. Time is relative.
I'm not counting out astronomy. I'm counting out astrology because it's stupid people getting fussy on something I said, yet they don't seem to understand the difference between astronomy and astrology.
Fair enough. You did say astrology, but I was reading through the conversation with the stars in general on mind.
That's astronomy. Astrology is the belief that the planetary and star movements have an effect on your life, behavior, fortune, etc.
What lives in time? Crystals, watches, and clocks have quartz crystals.
Time in history hours, minutes, seconds could be GPS.
Thoughts on this being the clue Justin said could need technical knowledge? Wisdom waits in shadowed sight for those who read these words just right. Assume you are intended to read it as a standalone sentence, and Cite 4 is a hyphenated word. Cite 4 sounds like cipher. What a more fitting line to apply a cipher to.
We need a code or something for fellow treasure hunters. Following one I thought were really good clues and ran into someone with a GoPro and binoculars. He seemed like he had been looking for the treasure as well. I wanted to ask, but I wasn't sure how. So I'm thinking we have a saying like, are you just posing around something of the sort?
Could you imagine getting out of your car, about to head to an area, and then someone walk out the woods with the treasure as you're headed in that direction to look for it?
Don't forget that John Collins Black has also hidden another treasure box somewhere in the Rockies in his book. There's treasure inside. You might bump into those hunters too.
Best of luck to those that have a solve already. I've watched the series several times, read the book, and done research, but still all over the place. I have a theory that the ancient gate involves the South Pass in the Rockies. Even if this is true, there are still hundreds of rabbit holes to go down.
Have a spot solve. But that's in my mind. The actual spot may differ from mind to mind, which makes it so much fun because we are all on our own adventures. Happy hunting!
I am wondering if this cutout shape of the map was intentional. A lake, or a mass of land, or the root of a river. Kind of has the shape of a face with a beard side profile as well.
Let's assume everything he does is intentional.
The other side is of a woman.
It looks like the historical figure of a true mountain man looking left here.
Also reminds me of John Muir. Or could be Brandon Posey.
Definitely you need to be creative in order to get it. It's not easy. I have pretty much a clear idea, or where leads me, but I don't have the book and I don't know anything about Justin life.
Holy shit! Breaking news! Live in 1 hour! 8 p.m. Pacific. No, the treasure has not been found, but huge news for this hunt. Incoming! Ah!
In an hour? Oh, come on.
Treasure boxes were not hidden. Confirmed.
My guess, Justin is confirmed to be D.B. Cooper.
Just go live now. Damn.
I do hope we find out where the hole is.
That would cause a mass flood towards a very concentrated area. It would be Woodstock 2025.
I heard there is news. BRB. Have to buy my flight to the West Coast.
All I have to say is that it better be worth it. I am too damn tired to be up that late, but I know I won't sleep thinking about it.
Wow, I just got word what the breaking news is. GPS confirmed.
They better share it if was the 5th of October 10 or 11.
No way.
The cipher in Justin Posey's Beyond the Map's Edge. Breaking news! Ow!
We gonna cipher, baby.
Wait, what?
Who's getting credit for that one? Well done.
Dibs on the treasure if the hint for where the cipher is was cite for.
A cipher in the poem has been confirmed.
Is this about the base 64 code?
Yes.
Why would Justin confirm that?
May be silly to deny it. If the person released it and it was obvious and he denied it, it would just look bad.
Love the drama. Well done, Justin.
Did someone say Justin confirmed this?
Do we need a PhD to comprehend?
Where was the base 64 script found? Nicely done.
Where Brave once sought the hidden chest, now rest the winds at Map's behest. First 2 lines of the version I found: no blaze to mark, no spade to wield, his trove instead lies unconcealed. The last 2 lines of the version I found a path is traced by Tucker's hand. Tucker's mention in my embedded poem version. I don't want to share too much.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Bass 64 cipher revealed huge implications.
Drama, drama, drama.
If this is another one of their breaking news that happens to be a theory.
LOL, you don't need to write code to decode base 64. It's already there.
2 snake story python and anaconda.
2 snake story python and anaconda.
Good luck, everyone. I'm sticking my uninfluenced opinion from here on out.
He said, the coded hint is not critical. Suo. The new poem isn't critical.
He did say the ebook and physical book have differences.
Pythons and herrings are related.
If there is a hint hidden in code, anyone with free ChatGPT access should be able to find it.
He used the word key difference. Key. Clue.
Ha ha ha, Justin. You sly dog.
He literally said not critical.
Pythons and herrings are related?
Subtle differences. Not a secret poem. Found nowhere else.
Why wouldn't we be expected to develop a basic skill if we want the clue? This doesn't feel unfair to me.
The best treasures, after all, often hide in plain sight sometimes between the lines of an acknowledgments page.
Pecos Bill had a rattlesnake rope.
If the world burns away, if the wind calls your name, go where no man dares to stray, past the stars, past the flame. There you will find the key. Beyond the veil, beyond the sea.
I'm a software engineer for a living. Python is free. If you send me the ebook, I'll verify it.
Yes, he said that you only need the poem to find the treasure, but the books and series would help.
Netflix viewers have already made a map for Justin Posey's Gold Greed treasure.
Another cryptic poem is useless. A guy on Reddit said it's in the table of contents page underneath the acknowledgement link, not in the actual acknowledgement section.
He included Alaska in the map on his website, and the poem is called Beyond the Map's Edge, seemingly beyond mainland USA. The line beyond the reach of time's swift race makes me think of the Arctic, where the days or nights are long. The line double arcs on Greta Bold. I think of the granite Talkeetna Mountains north of Anchorage. When you zoom out of southern Alaska, it looks like double arcs. Also, this could be a stretch, but the word arc being in the word Arctic.
They also included a map with a red arrow pointing to Talkeetna, suggesting this may be where the treasure could be buried. The idea has sparked plenty of interest, with one person writing, "Just finished the series and I have to admit, as a single guy in his 40s, with not a whole heck of a lot tying me down, I could see myself getting lost in this."
Does that second poem mean anything?
This is encroaching my bot G time.
It decodes to try the wheel.
How do you have a breaking news live event and not try to replicate the answer / cipher first?
All we need is another cryptic poem. LOL.
I think you guys are overcomplicating it.
I agree that there is something in the acknowledgement page, just not this nonsense.
I've been examining the code for the duration of this call. I believe we're being bamboozled. After converting the EPUB to .zip and extracting the files.
How do you have a breaking news live event and not TR?
It seems dirty to mislead troubled people to Alaska. Let's not get people in trouble. They'll do it on their own, unfortunately.
If people can't even get the safe combination right, what makes you think any of this is right?
I think it's in Washington State. Ursa Major can be seen in Washington State all year round. Olympia sits at the bottom of 3 inlets, which are 20 degrees north of Olympia. Black Hills is mainly granite, and there is a place there called Mima Mounds Natural Area Preserve. It consists of mounds that they don't know how they are formed. Mima is also a name derived from Chinook, meaning a little further along or downstream, like a river's steady flow. I'm in Australia, so can't search, but if anyone agrees, good luck.
Vanner converted the EPUB to text and said there is no such string in the acknowledgement.
Was actually really excited when he brought up the Victoria Peak treasure. Honestly, not many people talk about it, and it's a good story. I remember it in Unsolved Mysteries, and this guy found literally tons of gold, and he took a little bit to come back and get more. I forget the whole story, but the Gov found out and bought the land it was on and obviously took it all. It was near a nuclear test site, and I read the president at the time even came and saw the treasure and used it towards the Cold War. But the guy who found it got screwed. He would be a billionaire.
Okay, I'm just throwing this theory out there. But after reading the poem and looking at the map on his website, I think I've found some good matches for the starting point. So where it says water's silent flight, I thought silent flight might refer to birds of prey because they fly silently in Oregon along the Deschutes River, is a place called Eagle's Crest. Near this part of the river is a trail called the Fat Rabbit Loop, reference to Alice in Wonderland maybe? The next part of the poem says, round the bend.
Just down the river from Eagle's Crest is a town literally called Bend. The next part says, past the hole, and there is a golf course on the river called River's Edge Golf Course, maybe hole on a golf course? Or there's also a place called Holing the Ground in Deschutes National Park, which is a big landmark. To the west of that area is a mountain range with a mountain called the Husband and the Three Sisters. That's all I've got so far. This is taking the clues very literally and just Google mapping.
I'm from Bend, Oregon, and I'm telling you without a shadow of a doubt. It's very close to the Three Sisters MTs. They also refer to this as the gateway to the Cascades.
Hey guys, there is a hidden message This video they are about to delete.
Lol, rename. Breaking, damn it.
As a programmer, the phrase on the Reddit thread, now use Python to look at the coding, then when you find the embedded string, doesn't make much sense to me.
He deleted the post.
He deleted the post.
My guess it's in Utah time difference there, arches there, and you can see the stars clearly there to follow.
Through the poem, in the shadows, there seems to be letters hidden. This one looks like AM could have something to do with shadowed sight.
Jackson Hole has a lot of fishing, but that seems too obvious.
I'm wondering if the time he changed from and to on that big clock was coordinates or a clue. Maybe sunrise time or something of the location.
He said he gave hints in the documentary. Did he mention Alaska at all in the documentary? I haven't seen his website or read his poem, but it's not in Alaska. It's probably where he spent so much time with his grandfather in his youth in Montana or Wyoming. Edit. I edited the comment because I misremembered where he said he spent his youth.
Starting point is Twin Bridges, Montana.
Can you find what lives in time, flowing through each measured rhyme? Wisdom waits in shadowed sight for those who read these words just right. Always need to know where to start. I will not be joining the hunt in person, but good luck to those who do. I think the starting point is Homer, Alaska. The first lines make me think of the blind poet Homer, and fishing is in the second stanza. Homer, Alaska, Homer, Minnesota, Homer, Michigan.
Can you find what lives in time, flowing through each measured rhyme? Wisdom waits in shadowed sight for those who read these words just right. Always need to know where to start. I will not be joining the hunt in person, but good luck to those who do. I think the starting point is Homer, Alaska. The first lines make me think of the blind poet Homer, and fishing is in the second stanza. Homer, Alaska, Homer, Minnesota, Homer, Michigan.
Sounds like a MC Donald's in Provo.
Did no one count the syllables in the first stanza of the poem? It literally says, can you find what lives in time, flowing through each measured rhyme? The syllables are 7,778. What lives in time? I assume it's the face of a clock? I also instinctually thought Alaska, because it's called Beyond the Map's Edge, but clearly that's an assumption. Anyway, this part of Alaska is between 7 and 8 on the face of a clock. Could it be a starting point?
My first thought was Alaska as well, because of the Beyond the Map's Edge title. Then I may have started overthinking because when looking at the map he has on the website, the right side of Alaska is shown with a straight line. So is that the edge he refers to, and the west coast of the U.S. is the correct area?
Ison, I don't want to discourage anyone,
As a matter of fact, I really am the opposite. I want the best people trying to find the treasure, and I hope there is always a treasure hidden by people, because it actually is a great opportunity for families to spend time with each other without a fiend in their hand. Actually being outside. But I do not see in all that Mr. Posey, being the person he is, would hide this in Alaska. First and foremost, there is so much danger in travel in Alaska.
Second, it costs so much moat that it eliminates basically anyone whom is a weekend warrior and does the actual hard ground work. The poem seems to tell you it will put you rut on top of it if you understand the poem. And I want to be the first to say that I would eliminate any part of Alaska in my search, because Mr. Posey, along with Mr. Finn, wants people to get out and enjoy the wilderness, not getting hurt while hunting for a treasure.
So you can take it with a grain of salt, but I would be shocked if the treasure was more than 200 miles from where Finn's treasure was. Just my 2 cents, and I would like to join any group that is looking, because I am actively looking for indications of where it is. I have some guess, and I have kept them to myself up to this point.
I can tell you with 100% certainty that the treasure is not in Alaska. Please don't waste your time thinking about or even considering Alaska. This is a treasure hunt not far from where he lives. He is not going to take a plane or a boat to a faraway destination to plant a treasure box. I am 100% certain that it is not in Alaska.
From Wisdom MT, directly east, where the Big Hole River connects to the Wise River, there is also significant history in Wisdom MT and along Big Hole River. Just wondering what the His Bride stands guard at Ancient Gates would mean next?
The introduction and the conclusion of this poem weighs heavily on not overthinking. The starting point of the quest is detrimental in being on the right path, and is shared in his poem. You have to start where hope is. It's quite literally the first clue after the introduction, and you cannot skip that. Where is hope?
Maybe out in Susitna, Alaska? Mount Susitna is also called Sleeping Lady. Native stories say that the lady was engaged to a man who was off to protect their village before they wed. On the day her fiancé left, she promised to wait in the exact spot where he bade farewell. After many nights, she fell into a deep sleep waiting for him. Word came back to the village that the men were killed. Seeing how peacefully she was sleeping, the villagers couldn't bear to wake her up, so she lay there, asleep and waiting for her love to Bomray return.
He also changed the clock time in the series for no reason. IDC, why he would do that? I think it's a clue.
I'm also in Canada, and no, there's no way it's in Canada. He'd have to declare the value of the treasure and risk it getting confiscated or pay duty, so I don't think it's in Alaska. As he probably wanted to drive to a location, and he didn't drive through Canada with a treasure, so that's for sure.
Totally possible. Justin placed it south of the map's edge because he posted in winter, and it wouldn't be available 24/7 due to heavy snow. Maybe his own Texas or New Mexico, possibly Arizona or Utah, with the arcs or arches such as Rainbow Arch, Jacob Hamblin Arch, who knows.
East of Tucson. X marks the spot.
Grok AI has an interesting take on this. Let's reinterpret the poem as a riddle pointing to a physical location in the western United States, using its clues to guide us toward a plausible site. The West, spanning states like California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, and beyond, offers a rugged landscape of rivers, mountains, and historical markers that could align with the poem's imagery. I'll analyze each stanza to map its elements onto a real place, keeping in mind the date April 5th, 2025 doesn't restrict us, but ensures we consider current geography.
Can you find what lives in time, flowing through each measured rhyme? Wisdom waits in shadowed sight for those who read these words just right. Lives in time and flowing suggest a river or natural feature enduring through history. In the West, rivers like the Colorado, Columbia, or Snake come to mind, timeless forces shaping the land. Shadowed sight could imply a canyon, valley, or forested area where something is hidden. Read these words just right hints that the location requires decoding the poem's later clues.
As hope surges, clear and bright, walk near water's silent flight. Round the bend, past the hole, I wait for you to cast your pole. Water's silent flight points to a quiet river or stream. The West has many candidates, perhaps the Green River in Utah or the Deschutes in Oregon, known for serene stretches.
Round the bend, past the hole is specific, a river bend near a feature called the Hole. Jackson Hole, Wyoming, near the Snake River, leaps out famous for its valley hole and river bends. Cast your pole fits, as it's a fishing hotspot. The speaker eye could be the place itself, waiting to be discovered.
In Ursa East Hist realm awaits his bride, stands guard at ancient gates. Her foot of 3 at 20 degree, return her face to find the place. Ursa East ties to Ursa Major, visible in the eastern sky in spring like April. In the west, this could orient us from a northern latitude Wyoming, Montana, or Idaho where the constellation rises prominently. Hist as his suggests a masculine figures domain, perhaps a mountain or park.
His bride at ancient gates might be a rock formation, statue, or pass. Foot of 3 at 20 degree could describe a tripod-like base or a slope/angle 20 degrees. Return her face implies looking where she faces westward, perhaps, if she's east of the site. In Jackson Hole, the Teton Range A realm looms west of the valley. The bride could be a peak or pass, like Teton Pass, guarding access.
Double arcs on granite bold, where secrets of the past still hold. Beyond the reach of time's swift race, wonder guards this sacred space. Double arcs on granite bold suggests a natural or man-made feature to arches, curves, or carvings in stone. In the West, granite is common in the Rockies or Sierra Nevada. This could be a rock formation, bridge, or petroglyph site.
Near Jackson Hole, Grand Teton National Park has granite peaks and glacial features, though no literal double arcs stand out. Alternatively, Utah's Arches National Park has natural stone arches, some paired, but they're sandstone, not granite. Secrets of the Past fits either Native American history or geological time. Sacred space and wonder evoke a national park or preserve, timeless and awe-inspiring.
Truth rests not in clever minds, not in tangled, twisted finds. Like a river's steady flow, what you seek, you already know. This suggests the location is intuitive once found a famous, recognizable site. A river ties it together. In Jackson Hole, the Snake River flows steadily, a lifeline through the valley, reinforcing the poem's motif.
I believe the first stanza has to do with a clock. It lives within time, and it keeps a measured pace. And I believe you start in the shadow of one. It could also refer to an ancient sundial, of which there are a few in the West. I also believe it's in New Mexico, but I'm torn between Silver City and Las Vegas.
Seems more like Moab, UT. Many pieces of the poem align with Moab geological features, arcs, dinosaur footprints, aka time standing still, Colorado River, hole in rock, Ursa Major is visible in the spring. He was there not too long ago.
What if the time he adjusted the clock arms to are actually the date that Ursa Major/Minor is over the location of the treasure? In the FAQ, he said he's been planning since 2022. And time is a big factor. So what if those are dates that align with the constellations, providing a general location?
What about this? The bend in the poem could be referring to the Big Bend of the Colorado River in Utah. Not far past the bend is the hole in the rock. Hole in the poem is capitalized. Definitely the name of something. Then I am wondering if he went fishing in Utah with his grandpa, and if maybe that location is near the hole in the rock.
Honestly, though that was a good troll, I only know C++ and I'm a Python noob, so tried to use ChatGPT to help me, and it literally lied to me.
Here's what I have. I also nailed the first treasure spot, but husband wouldn't go Siwo. It's 100% Montana. Multiple reasons, but the biggest one being his family history. Alaska is referencing the North Star. Ursa Major is also the Little Dipper. Little Dipper has 3 feet. The foot being the North Star Polaris Ursa's wife is Helena. Helena brings you to Montana and Lewis and Clark County. His grandfather was a game warden for the National Forest in Montana.
I also think it's somewhere along the Continental Divide area. I also think you can't get to the treasure without specific timing of seasons. Can you find what lies in time waiting Montana wildflowers also grow in the Big Hole Valley?
It's in Arches National Park 100%.
Water's silent flight equals glacier National Park. There are several topography and numbers revealed in the show indicating Montana Devil's Hole Tucker being speak of the devil. Lots of Montana imagery like the lake. There must be a connection in his past to Montana. I'm looking for it. He says, "We already know" at the end of the poem, so there is something we know to indicate the exact location.
I mean, it tells us don't be too clever and it's based on things we already know. So someone should start at 9 Mile Hole and follow the river east until they find the bear statue.
Hole could mean geyser. Silent water them steam. Those Gisettes are loud.
Something's telling me Sierra Nevadas. Maybe even Tahoe National Forest, maybe. I'm familiar with this area, having lived in Tahoe area and visiting many glacial lakes that were as blue as the one on his screen. Then again, could be in the Tetons too. This is going to blow up, and his book sales are going to be through the roof.
The Gates of the Mountains in Montana, just north of Yellowstone. Where is Our Lady of the Rockies in Butte? That might be overlooking the gates to the mountains. Ancient Gates. It's also west of Great Bear Wilderness.
As regarding the double arcs, I started thinking, and within that region there is a Bear Mountain and a Bridal Veil Falls. There, however, are not that close together.
You also bet the gates of the Arctic National Refuge or park, and it's a couple pics that real similar to the ones on his screens during some interviews in the show.
I think it's somewhere in Glacier National Park. Alberta, Canada side. Just off the map. America. Like what other people said. When he adjusts the clock hand, he sits it to 4:03, or at least as far as area codes go. That's the only one that makes sense. It's in the Rockies. He also has a photo on the laptop on the right upper side in his V scene. That looks a lot like Glacier National Park. We know he has connection to Montana.
I don't think it's in Canada, considering his legal team is in Wyoming. It's definitely hidden in America.
It's either in Alaska or Wyoming. You can cross out any other ideas.
No way Alaska. Too far, and getting treasure to and from would be pain to fly, and I doubt he'd drive.
Justin posted an Instagram story with the theme song from the Goonies. Goonies takes place in Oregon. Coincidence?
Arches National Park, Utah Yellowstone River, Wyoming Devil's Gate. Wyoming, let me know what you find. Happy hunting.
I was thinking about this. If the treasure was in Alaska, LOL came, you imagine trying to fly back to the continental United States with millions in gold/riches? Do you think they would allow you to carry it on or check it? Yo.
I have Justin put his treasure in Alaska. Forrest, only 5 people died in your hunt. Hold my beer.
The clock changing equals time zones? I started looking for unusual time zone boundaries. Then I found time zone, Goff Bridge, over the Salmon River near Riggins, Idaho. It has 2 arches casting a shadow on the rocks to the east in the afternoon. It doesn't seem that sacred, though, and has throngs turn out for jet boat races and houses nearby. He would have had to hide it at night.
Like a few others, I believe it's in Yosemite National Park. A good bit of the clues lend to believe it's landmarks within this park, and one of the things I noticed when I was looking on Google Maps was that if we're going in the right direction, it led to Boundary Mountain, and I believe is the map's edge.
So I looked up Kolchak Lake and Granite Peaks, and this is what AI provided. Kolchak Lake, a stunning alpine lake, is nestled at the base of the granite peaks of Dragontail Peak and Kolchak Peak, offering breathtaking views and access to the Enchantments, a popular backcountry area in the Alpine Lakes Wilderness near Leavenworth, Washington.
Big Hole River. There is a location on the river called Big Hole as you go up the river. There is a bend, then a bridge. After the bend and bridge, there is Maiden Rock Maiden, aka Bride from the poem, and a Purin. Lot more that I don't know how to put into words that I will let all of you figure out. Feel free to reply to this, and I will correct you and help whoever has the time figure it out.
Read about Ursa and the mythology. Great Bear Wilderness lines up with so much. The Great Bear is located west of the Continental Divide, which forms the EAS turn boundary. Read how it was named by different cultures, and that explains 56. Use longitude for the bear's head 48 degrees is smack dab in the middle of GBW. There's a dirt road airport with a river right next to it too. There are several mountains with granite nearby. Also lakes which look like Hole's Elk Lake specifically, and the surrounding mountain looks like a face.
I have located all clues and physical location of the bride's face.
I know the exact area it's in. I'm dead-arse serious, and I have all the info backing it up. I just don't have the funds or knowledge to hike alone. God damn it. I swear to God I know where it is.
It's in Montana 100%.
It's not Montana, I'll tell you that.
Wind River Range meets a lot of the criteria, but specifically the water's silent flight portion.
So, I believe I found the Fitzwater cabin that is now owned by a relative near Comet Mountain. As I was internet sleuthing, I believe I also found the old residence of Justin's brother, which is also in Polaris. Both are very close to Sawtooth Lake, and his brother's old residence is a 20-minute drive from the cabin. His brother's place was also within walking distance of the Clark Creek trailhead, or a very short drive, which turns into the Sawtooth Lake Trail. From parking to the lake, it's 2.5 miles.
Okay. And then I take a totally different spin on things, and I apologize. I'm not the best Googler out there. So, my information may seem disjointed. One grandson says the Mesa bracelet made its way home. There's a bracelet in the opening portion of the Series 2. Justin's grandfather carved his name on the London Bridge. There's a London Bridge in Arizona and is along the Colorado River. There's a pic of the Sea River in the opening segment. Bridges have arches as well. So maybe a clue.
Water makes noise unless it's evaporating. Silent flight refers to evaporation, I'm guessing. Death Valley, Shasta Lake, Meade, Powell, Colorado River Basin, upper or lower. All areas of extremely high evaporation rates, as well as Trinity Lake area, Trinity National Forest.
Related to Ursa Major constellation is Boots constellation. Ursa was the husband and Boots was his wife and child. Could be the wife mentioned, and both could relate to latitude and longitude coordinates.
Off the Knap's Edge suggests Alaska to me. The shadow on clock is AK. One of the pics on his computer is Lake Louise in Alberta, but there is also a Lake Louise in Alaska.
I noticed during interview he moved the hand of time to 4 o'clock. Then I noticed at first there was one coffee cup behind him, and the next time it's 2 side by side, then back to 1 the rest of the series. No clue if it's a clue, but I never know.
Montana's nickname is the Treasure State. I'm a native Montanan in Montana.
If anyone lives near Moab, Utah, please DM me. I may be onto something.
If anyone lives near Moab, Utah, please DM me. I may be onto something.
I like the Montana theory a lot, but I also have a completely different idea that is so basic no one has mentioned it yet. What if it's in the first MC Donald's? The first MC Donald's is in California history, and the bare clues check and check. In the women's bathroom, the toilet hole, the bends of the toilet, the silent water in the tank, check, check, check.
It seems dirty to mislead troubled people to Alaska. Let's not get people in trouble. They'll do it on their own, unfortunately.
Yes, I don't think it is Alaska. Way too risky with chance of people getting lost in woods or people end up dead. He doesn't want that heat like this one did, and he has to call it off.
Think it's Alaska? Going to be a fun summer looking for this treasure in my own backyard. You point out the place, I'll do boots on ground, and if it's there, we share.
I think it's in Washington State. Ursa Major can be seen in Washington State all year round. Olympia sits at the bottom of 3 inlets, which are 20 degrees north of Olympia. Black Hills is mainly granite, and there is a place there called Mima Mounds Natural Area Preserve. It consists of mounds that they don't know how they are formed. Mima is also a name derived from Chinook, meaning a little further along or downstream, like a river's steady flow. I'm in Australia, so can't search, but if anyone agrees, good luck.
Get a life, people. I cannot believe this guy restarted this hunt after losing his own brother to it. There is a reason why the docu is called Gold and Greed. Greed leads you to self-destruction. Rather use the time to get to know your surroundings. Do something with your family, friends, and neighbors, instead of going into this fucked up rabbit hole.
He said he would go to Montana and Wyoming a lot when he was young. It's in those states, although the pics on the laptop show Colorado River and somewhere near Utah.
But what would the reference to the bride be? And Gates? I'm trying to find this thing from all the way in Australia using nothing but satellites. So envious of you guys able to road trip out there to hunt.
I was actually really excited when he brought up the Victoria Peak treasure. Honestly, not many people talk about it, and it's a good story. I remember it in Unsolved Mysteries, and this guy found literally tons of gold, and he took a little bit to come back and get more. I forget the whole story, but the Gov found out and bought the land it was on, and obviously took it all. It was near a nuclear test site, and I read the president at the time even came and saw the treasure and used it towards the Cold War, but the guy who found it got screwed. He would be a billionaire.
Okay, I'm just throwing this theory out there, but after reading the poem and looking at the map on his website, I think I've found some good matches for the starting point. So where it says, water's silent flight, I thought silent flight might refer to birds of prey because they fly silently in Oregon along the Deschutes River, is a place called Eagle's Crest. Near this part of the river is a trail called the Fat Rabbit Loop. Reference to Alice in Wonderland, maybe?
I'm from Bend, Oregon, and I'm telling you, without a shadow of a doubt, it's very close to the Three Sisters MTs. They also refer to this as the gateway to the Cascades.
I honestly believe you all should just make this your own journey instead of boasting ideas to the internet so someone else can find it.
From the first section of the poem, it seemed like Arizona to me. Can you find what lives in time? The only state in America and West America that lives in time is Arizona. Arizona stays on standard time all year.
Totally possible Justin placed it south of the map's edge because he posted in winter and it wouldn't be available 24/7 due to heavy snow. Maybe his own Texas or New Mexico, Possibly Arizona or Utah, with the arcs or arches, such as Rainbow Arch, Jacob Hamblin Arch, who knows?
Bike trails at Olympic National Park could be used for BMX riding dependent on skill of rider, and Justin is a skilled rider, etc.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Discord Drama. The theories are flying, the poem is under the microscope, and the hunt is hotter than ever. Where will it lead? Who's telling the truth? And what secrets still hide between the lines? Because somewhere beyond the edge, and just off the map, something is waiting to be found. Keep watching, keep questioning, and above all, keep hunting. Until next time, this is Discord Drama, signing off.
Searching for a whisper in the pines. Mystery lurks in the shadow of the oaks. Legacy of treasure buried in lines. Legends wrapped in nature's unspoken jokes. Footprints fade in the morning dew. Gold hides beneath moss and vine. Legends lead to fortunes anew. In the breast of mountains standing fine. Beyond the map, where secrets lie, hearts race beneath the endless sky. Riches wait, where all goes sigh. Adventurers take the leap and fly, fly, echoes of yore weave the tale. Forest fence whispers still alive. Once a dream, now a winding trail. New quests on the horizon arrive. Stars guide the restless hearts, following the call of ancient charts. Whispers lead for those who start to chase the dream with insatiable smarts. Beyond the map, where secrets lie, hearts race beneath the endless sky. Riches wait, where old goes sigh. Adventurers take the leap and fly. Beyond the map, where secrets lie, hearts race beneath the endless sky. Riches wait, where old goes sigh. Adventurers take the leap and fly, fly. Stars guide the restless hearts, follow